This is the Dzogchen Someday Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. It is Ahsoka Tano Thursday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after chanting the third quarter of the meditation classic Vast Space of Vajrasattva, composed oh so many centuries ago by the great Buddhist reformer Prahe Vajra of the present-day Swat Valley. Excuse me. Please chant with me. Utterly free of image-like perceptions as one. The yogi is like the non-graspable imprint of a bird on the sky. I think I mispronounced a word. Let's take it from the top. Utterly free of image-like preconceptions as one. The yogi is like the non-graspable imprint of a bird on the sky. In the unstructured, unborn essence, where is any vaunted or prestigious sign of his passage? That's right. Meditation is its own reward. If you're looking for fame or money, keep looking. Let us explore the folly of contrived jhana or trance. Inner and outer are one. The inner represents the outer itself. Since there are no hidden depths to discover through the folly of contrived jhana or trance, under the tyranny of this fictive world of illusions, the contrived analog of samadhi lacks the effortless experience of inherent sameness. To understand the cult of trance, I'm going to assail you with some visual aids. Any good student of anthropology or archaeology will tell you that approximately 300,000 years ago, our ancestors of the Paleolithic era enjoyed a culture that could be described by being flexible, loving, rational, laid-back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. And that was splendid. However, approximately 13,000 years ago, during the Neolithic Revolution, our ancestors were subjected to a type of proto-capitalism, which turned human culture on its head and promoted a culture of being rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. This is why Sturgeon's law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks. These attributes describe people, not just people, but meditation teachers as well. People who are so rigid and so controlling and so elitist that they take what was supposed to be an easy path and make it difficult. For instance, when one reads the second to the final passage or the penultimate passage of the Satipatthana Sutta, or the Buddha's Discourse on the Four Bases of Mindfulness, one reads that the Buddha taught one could master his path, his eightfold path of enlightenment, in as little as 7 days. Those who would pursue something more difficult, more arduous, have no dearth of gimmicks. So we have a choice: proto-Buddhism or institutional Buddhism. The quick path or the slow path, the easy path or the difficult path. My friends, welcome to the lazy bastard path of sudden enlightenment. Let's continue. And again about contrived distinctions of outer and inner, the body, mind in an undifferentiated space of sameness, as perceived through Vati Yoga's noticing and relaxing. Past, present, and future inseparable with, past, present, and future inseparable within it, the space of sameness. One moment, if you please. Insert, and there we go. So I think this should do it. Let's make sure it fits on the page. Cool, let's take it from the top. As perceived through Vati Yoga's noticing the play of mind and relaxing into one's ungraspable nature. Past, present, and future inseparable within it, the space of sameness. All such contrived designations are redundant other than this. The immovable or empty is a seal of pure being. The imperturbable or empty a key to pristine awareness. Feeling as if we all are appropriating or reaching for nothing as we relax into our exhalation. There feels as if there is no self. Similarly, it could feel as if we are rejecting nothing, as relax into unutterable sameness. Okay, what is this bit about no self? And to explain that, I'm going to once again subject you to more visual aids. There are many teachings about meditation. Most of them contradict each other. Many of them rely on superstition. I feel this confusion is best dispelled when viewed through the metaphoric lens of neuroscience. We'll begin with mindfulness. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we have evolved to automatically access the middle bit of our spinal cord, which could be described or which functions as the hub of our sympathetic nervous system. It has evolved to help us to notice in a very special way. It has evolved to help us to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice all mind's antics of perception. Sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like, including the full spectrum of human emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, and imaginings. All of them, from the external to the internal, from the physical to the mental, from the pleasurable to the painful, from the interesting to the boring, from the glorious to the grotesque. But what are we to do with that which we noticed? The answer to that, in one word, is meditation. You see, every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we have evolved to automatically access both the tippy top and the very bottom of that same spinal cord. These two extremes, working as a team, function as the hub of our parasympathetic nervous system. It has evolved to help us to physically relax and mentally release during our exhalation to such a degree that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel a trifle less stressful, less permanent, less defining, and even as non-graspable as a vast empty void. A simile, my friends, is only as useful as it is relatable. Therefore, we have to ask the question, what? What is a not real-world example of a non-graspable vast empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although could look tantalizing to the eye, could feel non-graspable to the hand? And so we see that both emptiness and not self are just metaphors to describe the fleeting experience latent within each exhalation. So let's get down to brass tacks. Whatever self we notice as we relax into our exhalation, whatever sense of self we notice during our previous inhalation could feel quite non-graspable. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever sense of, let's get over here real quick, like a bunny. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever something we might have felt like reaching for during our inhalation could feel less permanent, less defining, less tantalizing, and even less graspable. Let's continue. The what, who, and where details of our psychic modes and behavior occur are not to yoga's noticing and relaxing known as luminous mind, but of any distinction between male and female. Vajrasattva, the archetype of simply noticing and relaxing. Who known as the Lord of Sameness has nothing to say. Cuts. Paste. Let us explore the folly of Anu Yoga and Tikle's energy work. The folly of renunciation and fierce asceticism provide no definitive answer, but endowed with Anu Yoga's folly of chests Lama Naljoran, the pay of crowns Lama and Kieno. Only the ensnaring pleasure of delusory enchantment is insured. In other words, yes, we can force our body to feel sensations, but chasing those sensations does more harm than good. Our experience of sensation is subjective, for our preconceptions influence our perceptions, and the pleasure of let's try this again. And the pleasure dualistically coveted in Anu Yoga's contrived sensations is like a heavy veil that further obscures. Now let us explore the folly of Mahayoga and Tokal's visualization work. The method of Mahayoga's tantric luminous mind concentration requires visualization of divine attire, in the hopes that just as the moon's reflection in water is appearing yet not graspable, likewise nakedness of vulnerability and peace of detachment can emerge. But sadly that concentration is as ineffectual as children hoping to receive shelter merely from building sandcastles. Likewise, identifying with the body of a Likewise, identifying with the body of a Mahamudra or great wrathful one, in his mandala, paradise, pure land, or vati of wrathful attributes, and even perfectly concentrating upon its seed syllable or bija, nirvana itself will still not be experienced directly. Now let us explore the folly of ritual and psychological asceticism. Just as lopping the branches off a tree could kill that tree, or incinerating a seed could kill that seed, likewise through real or imagined asceticism, the tyranny of strong emotion. Whoops, look at that. B and insert, and there we go. Likewise, the real or imagined asceticism, the tyranny of strong emotion, can be destroyed, or so it is foolishly taught. Although each of those 100,000 techniques bears a corresponding fruit of some kind, yet on that path unmarked, signless, great completion is not found. The fortunate yogi is present in this indescribable state, wherein Nati Yoga notices the antics of mind and relaxes into its non-graspable nature. With self and other indistinguishable in exhalation's empty nature, we revel in the arena of love's enchanted spontaneity, because the more we notice and relax in harmony with our exhalation and inhalation and exhalation, the more our choices, utterances, and deeds flow, not from contrived calculations, nor from wild scatterness, but instead from love's deeply centered spontaneity. This is known by many names. Some call it right effort, some people call it effortless effort, some people call it doing without doing, some people call it wu wei, some people call it going with the flow, some people call it being in the zone, some people call it expedient means. Let's continue. Inhalation's awareness is totally complete, all-inclusive. Unchanging, it is simply being. And like unbounded space's ultimate reality is contingent upon nothing. Having completed our opening recitation, we can now shift gears. Let us sit as sustainably as we can. And we're going to use two techniques to gently invite our subtle energy to coalesce at the crown of our head. One is going to be respiratory and one is going to deal with our fingers. Let us use the tip of our left index finger to support the lower knuckle of our right index finger, palms up in our lap. Now the respiratory facet. As we feel air enter our nostril, let us silently and mentally recite the verb noticing. As we feel air exit our nostrils, let us silently and mentally recite the verb relaxing. Additionally, we can touch the tip of our left thumb to the lowest set of creases on its little finger, thus keeping track of our first set of 12 inhalations, which takes a little bit more than a minute. To keep track of those 12 inhalations, every time we silently and mentally recite the verb noticing as we inhale, we can advance our right thumb across the sets of creases upon each of its 4 fingers. Let's do this together right now. Having run out of creases on our right hand, on our left hand the thumb can advance to its next set of creases. And thus you get the idea of how we could count 12 sets of 12 inhalations each. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist philosophy or meditation, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window. For I check for questions periodically. Let's switch gears. Let us gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in our chest using two methods. First, by using the tip of our left middle finger to support the lower knuckle of our right middle finger, palms up in our lap. Second, through respiratory means. As we feel our chest swell with inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the verb noticing. As we feel our chests subtly sink, as gently we exhale, we could silently and mentally recite the verb relaxing. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. For Meditate Like a Jedi is made possible thanks to the generosity of viewers just like you. In approximately 9 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's dusk recitation, explanation, and practice of meditating like a Jedi. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.